Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Georgie Mandy's First Marriage. This is the 16th episode of the first season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If that's what's today's full episode, it is available for the link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. So last episode we had what would you say? An unexpected turn of events, I would call it, and it was Connor. He was a player, mate. Honestly, like, he went to Georgie for some advice. He was basically saying that there's a girl in the music store that you know, that he's interested in, but he needs a little bit of help for basically courting her, you know. If we're being totally honest, and they've gone in there. Georgie was giving him some good advice and stuff, and he's gone in. He's trying to be his wingman, but boom, Connor's just pulled out. He's like, "Look, mate, I made a song for you." And, you know, Georgie's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" You know, like, you never told me that you made a song, because sometimes, you know, you would think that is pretty full on. You know what I mean? For before you've even asked somebody out, you made a song for him. However, she enjoyed it. She liked it. You know what I mean? She asked him, "Can I actually put some vocals on it?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So George was like, "Mate, what a smashing success this is." He's ended up telling Mandy, who's then told the parents, who Jim's absolutely ecstatic, mate. He cannot believe that his son's actually into a real human. Do you know what I mean? He never thought they'd actually go out and actually meet somebody, where obviously his mum, Audrey, she's a little bit like sensitive. She's a bit like wary. She don't want to kind of lose a little boy, even though he's 26. And she ended up coming around to the house. He was upstairs. He was making music. She's got a pretty good voice, actually. And she ended up staying the night, which is interesting because, you know, as he was leaving, he gave her a kiss. Mandy was hidden under the stairs. You know, she was trying to stay out of the way and just be silent and hidden. However, he's seen her in the he's seen him in the steps as he was walking up. So I really enjoyed the episode. Honestly, it was a good one. I laughed, and you know, I'm really happy with the storyline with Connor. Thanks for checking it out, though. If you did, do enjoy today's episode, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Percentile for height, 50th for weight. Everything looks right on target. Kids can't teeth up until their 3rd birthday.
Before you know it, she's gonna be rolling her eyes and thinking everything you say is dumb. Like that. You really don't want to have more kids?
I don't know. Probably someday.
You don't want Cece to have a little brother or sister?
I don't know. Probably someday.
Big gap between me and Sheldon and Missy. There's a big gap between you and your brother. You weren't ready to have Cece, and she turned out great. Hey, and word on the street is, I too was an unexpected blessing. I'm ready to have another kid.
Yeah, too bad.
I like that ending bit of the intro, to be honest, when he hits the light every time. It's decent. Now, my question is, you know, do you think, like, an age gap, there's too big of an age gap for siblings to get along? Because my personal opinion is no. You know, my mum's only ever had 2 kids, me and my sister. There's an 8-year gap between us, and we are sound. Well, 7-year gap, like, depending on when your birthday is. I'm 8 years older, I'm 7 years, but it's like 7 years older. And mate, we get on, mate, sound, talk all the time, see each other all the time. You know what I mean? Like, grew up fine. I was like always a protective big brother. Do you know what I mean? So like, I was always playing and make sure she was okay, and we got on great, you know what I mean? And like, I know other people, like my girlfriend, for example, you know, she's the eldest, but like, she's only 1 year older than her other sister. And then like 5 years older than the one before, so that they're closer together. But like, you know, they get on, but not like a house on fire. Do you know what I mean? It depends. You know, you could have 2 girls growing up, but they could get at each other's throats. Do you know what I mean? Because they're competitive. One would be more prettier than the other, and they tease each other. And I don't know, like, it's always 50-50. You know, it's always good to think that to have a child to be in roughly the same kind of age range to grow up and play with. But then again, I also feel like if you have a 5-year gap, maybe 5 years, I think is a pretty good thing, because you can have a 5-year gap and you can give that kid all its love that it needs. You know what I mean? Like, so for the first 5 years, you can experience everything with them and go through it all. And then when the kid's going to like 5 to 10, that's where it picks up its own personality and it starts playing, and it's getting its own interests. And then you've got time with them doing their things and bringing up the new kid. You know what I mean? And you've got that gap between them. I think about 5 years is good. Like, I wouldn't want a kid bang straight away. They're all, what, 18 months or whatever, 14 months, their kid. I don't think, I mean, you can do if you're financially well off and you've got people that can help you and look after them. But like, you got to think of everyone around you. You know what I mean? You got to think about nursery fees. Who's going to mind them? Can we go out? Can we vacation? Is it best for them? You know, right now we can afford to take TC here, here, and here, and here, but now we've got two, we can't even do that task anymore. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to say than, oh, I just want another kid.
Hey, how was the doctor?
CC's perfect, and Mandy don't want another kid. You're happy you had 2 kids, right?
Of course.
Sure.
Oh, come on. Don't you want a grandson someday?
Hey, do not drag him into this.
Yeah, please don't.
You don't have to decide this right away. You're both young.
Hey, the baby, the perfect baby, that's the baby.
Remember this one with the little footies? So precious.
Okay, stop trying to guilt me.
How about this? Why don't we just put it in God's hands and see what happens?
To be fair, right, baby's clothes are tiny, aren't they? Like, look at that. That's a little glove. Like, it's mad. Like, I think it's mad how that's like something that we all fit in. Do you know what I mean? Like, got some more stuff. I just think it's crazy, to be honest. Like, it's just so small. You know what I mean? And then you become like a big unit. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that is crazy. Just how we all develop from being nothing into a belly, into a baby, into a kid, into an adult. Like, obviously that's life. That's life. But like, I just stuff like that fascinates me. I just think it's mad. I was all once this and now we're that.
Look at this. Guy at table 2 gave me 50 cents in his phone number. Am I really not even worth paper money?
You're happy just having 1 kid, right?
1 kid, no husband, 50 cents burning a hole in my pocket. So happy.
Hey, what brings you by?
We got baby clothes to donate.
I thought you were gonna hold on to some of these just in case.
It's just me and Mandy are fighting about having more kids.
That is a common issue with young couples. This is something I've dealt with in my own marriage as well.
Your first marriage? Is that why she left you?
No, my current marriage.
Okay, well, you got my number. I'm here. I still fit into my high school jeans, and I'm not afraid to show a little cleavage. I am at the top of their list, so I probably shouldn't be making any.
And I really think communication is key. Well, I was talking to Pastor Jeff.
You told our business to Pastor Jeff?
Well, I didn't mean to. I meant to tell my mom.
You told your mom, too? I have another kid right now.
Well, when?
I don't know.
But someday?
I don't know.
I thought you were done.
Oh, do you know what? This is a tough one. It is our decision, but I would sway 70-30, 60-40 on the female side. And the reason is because they carried a baby. And I'm not saying that females deserve to be more parents than males. I'm actually not saying that at all. But what I am saying is if somebody doesn't want to be pregnant because of the toll it takes on the body, the effort, the 9 months out of, you know, like the life, the aftermath of the recovery, you could have a C-section, you could lose a lot of blood, you can die in pregnancy. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of shit to consider. Like, I do think that it is a family decision if you want to have kids. Like, for example, if the male was having took protection, so he's wearing a condom, and like the woman was trying to forcefully have a baby, so like they was piercing holes in it, for example, let's just say. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's bad. And it's also bad because they're taking the decision out of the guy. Do you know what I mean? But the guy can't forcefully tell the woman as well, you're having my baby. It's just one of them tough grey areas where it has to be communicated. But I don't think that her saying maybe is that bad. It's just a not right now, and it's also not a never. You know what I mean? Like, putting her under pressure, she'll say maybe not, like maybe I never want one. But like her natural first instinct was, yeah, not right now. And I don't think that's actually too bad. And again, you know, I feel like even though it's our decision to have a baby, I think it's the woman's final say if she wants to have it.
You're in bed early.
Yeah, well, you know us old people.
A little warm in here. I really am sorry about what I said before. Still hot in here.
To be fair though, he said the right
Back on
thing.
the couch again, eh?
Shut up. A little stiff. Slept on the couch last night. First year's the hardest. Everyone knows that. It's wonderful. Why wouldn't she want more of that?
It was wonderful at that age, too. Now I'm contemplating an exorcism.
He's gone now. It showed him really his.
Georgie Cooper.
Sheldon's smart, tall, and thin. It ain't a crazy question.
You know, I read an article where women in their 30s are starting to freeze their eggs.
Never have another kid. You're okay with that?
Let's not be throwing never around.
Cooper residence. Oh, hi. Yes, he's still here. You know, if you and Georgie need to talk, I am happy to watch CC.
I'll be in soon.
You don't know where he is? Did he not come home last night? Did you not come home last night?
You told him?
No.
And yet I know.
I'm here if you want. I also know that Audrey didn't want a second kid till Mandy went off to kindergarten. Suddenly the house was empty and she couldn't keep her hands off me.
And you had Connor.
Yeah, sometimes a ticking clock's attached to a bomb.
No, but what he's saying is, like, he's correct, you know, like, first of all, I don't think there is a time limit on it. Like, you can have a kid in your 40s, like, that's not bad. My mum had me when she was 40. She's still going strong now, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that, you know, live your life. Enjoy it. Spend some time with your kid. What's the pressure, like, for it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand it would be nice, but, like, taking everything into account, do you know what I'm saying? Like, what he just said there was good, you know. Mandy may never want another kid right now, but she actually never said never. She just kind of forcefully said it because she was in an annoyance with him in an argument. But, like, once she's brought the baby up, and then the baby disappears to go to school, she's going to be like, oh, mate, I have literally just got a hole here left. What am I going to do with myself again? Maybe we should have another kid, Georgie. Do you know what I mean? And when did the baby go off? 2, 3? It's not even long. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, that's what I'm saying. Like, I personally think it's your first kid as well. Spend as much time as you can with that child. Do everything that you can afford. Have as many experiences that you can have. You know what I mean? And then think about it. Mate, she's not even old. She's not even 30 yet. You know, oh, she might be getting close. But, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much time. There's literally, for these guys anyway, there isn't a ticking time bomb. There is literally no rush. There's no need to freeze an egg. There's no need to look at it now. There's no need to act drastically. Just take it. Have a conversation. Will we potentially have kids in the future? Yeah, potentially we will do. Okay, that's great. You know, we'll discuss this later down the line after we spent a bit more time with our current child that we've got.
Can I ask you a weird question?
Go ahead.
Do you ever wish you were an only child?
Yes. Remember when you told me if I jumped off the roof with an umbrella, I would float down?
Yes, this is she. Absolutely, I'm available.
Who was that?
That was the news station. They need me to fill in again.
I was only gone one night. You ain't going on a date, are you?
Very funny. The station called. They need extra help tomorrow. Thought one day I would live in a big city like Miami. Never want to move out of Texas?
No. Plus, in a city like Miami, you ain't got no space.
Oh, when you think about it, not talking has really worked for us. I can love you and not tell you stuff.
I love you because you don't tell me stuff.
Who knows? Maybe one day I'll change my mind about having kids.
Thank you, Heather. Really coming down out here.
She looks miserable.
We should record this.
I didn't even see that water rising that high. Mate, is that a thing that you do in your country? Like, do you take your weather people outside in the extreme conditions? Now, I know that well, which I've never understood it as well, but like when wars are going on, like reporters fly over to the countries and they stand there in that war-stricken country, do you know what I mean? Like where all the bombings and all the craziness and the gunshots are going off, and okay, they're heavily protected, they've got people around them, they have press passes, but like, why do you need to be in the thick of it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes no difference to me watching the news. Like, what's that mean that we don't care? And he laughs. We don't care. Like, I don't care where you're telling me that news from. Just tell me that there's a storm coming and stay inside, or make sure I'm okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be 10 inches of rain falling today. I don't need you to be stood in it with water up to your knees, being drenched as if somebody's holding a bucket of water over your head. Like, makes no difference to me. So, like, I don't understand it. I don't need you to tell me that there's bombings going off on the other side of the world whilst you're stood in the war zone dodging all the bombs. Like, you could tell me the news. You could tell me, you know, how to help people or what's going on and give me updates from a safe place. Like, you being in that location isn't going to make me watch any more than it would have been me tuning in anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I always think it's crazy. And actually, one thing that does happen in the United States that doesn't happen in the UK is say like somebody steals a car or something and they're driving down the motorway and they're getting chased by the police, like they get a helicopter out and they get a live view and they'll follow it around everywhere. Like, I found that pretty interesting, but that doesn't happen here, like where we are. But like when I always see it on Twitter or something, like, you know, when something's happened and the police are chasing them and they release the footage, I always find it fascinating to watch, you know. So if it was a live stream and it was a news thing, that's the only time that I would say that being outside and following something is actually really interesting. But, you know, I don't know if that hinders her potential of going back on the news because she wasn't upbeat and pleasant, but who would be? Do you know what I mean? I remember as a kid watching Drake and Josh, and I feel like his dad, I think that Josh's dad was a weather guy, and I feel like in one of the episodes he was outside and he was getting proper rained on like that, and I just think, hey, as a viewer, it's no benefit for you. I actually feel sorry for them because, like, who would want to be outside in those extreme conditions? Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks for watching our channel today. Hope the guys enjoyed it. Was it last episode that Connie was in? Or was it the episode before? I can't remember now. I'm happy though that, you know, that we've seen some of the Coopers in it a bit more. You know, it'd be nice to see, Missy a little bit, but, you know, having Connie and Dale in, maybe last episode or the one before, and then having obviously Marion today was nice to see. And, you know, I do feel like it was a topic of discussion that maybe you do, although it should be between you and your partner, I do feel like some sort of outside input is ideal. And not because you should take their input, but sometimes it's nice to have somebody else's opinion on your opinion, if that makes sense. So like, my opinion might be she should 100% be having my baby because I want her to, right? And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just giving it a hypothetical that that's my opinion. Now, if you get an outsourced opinion of somebody else, so you tell somebody that that's what you think and they come back and they tell you, no, actually, I think that's incorrect, it changes your perception of what you might think. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you might think something's okay or you're correct, and then it's only until you get outside point of view over people's interactions, you know what I mean? You explained it to 5 people and 4 of them have said they don't, you know, they don't agree. Then that's when you start to change your kind of opinion. You know, I had this conversation the other day with my girlfriend, and it's like, do you announce a kid's name by, say, would you announce it the first and middle name if you was putting it on like a logo? Or would you announce it as just the first name? Or would you announce it as the first, second and third name? You know what I mean? So if you was called like Steve Paul Anderson, you know, would you have just Steve on the sign? Or would you have Steve Paul? Or would you have Steve Paul Anderson? And I personally said there's only 2 options. You have the first name, Steve, or you have Steve Paul Anderson. You would never put Steve Paul and miss the surname out. And she was saying, yeah, but everybody knows the surname. You know, everybody knows their parents and what that surname is. You all know that it's called Anderson. I was like, yeah, but why would you have the first and middle name? It's not a double barrel name. It's not like John James where it's hyphened, you know, double barreled. It's like you would have either the first and last name, or the first name or first, last and middle. Like, and she put it in a Facebook group and asked them, people was on my side. And it was only until she got, because she was adamant as well, like she was getting mad because obviously I was saying that she's wrong, like why would you do a first and middle name? It makes no sense. Like, and she got an outside opinion, and like the poll was like 90-10 on my side, and she's like, okay, maybe I get your point of view. Do you know what I mean? It's until you have a discussion and it's in the open, and you sit down and get somebody else's opinions, like Pastor Jess, like his mum's, that like they come to you know, some sort of different understanding. And the thing is as well, right, Georgie, I don't know, he was kind of mad and kind of, oh, well, let's just say upset because he wanted another kid and he thought that Mandy wasn't going to have one. But like, from the first indication when he was sat in that room at the start, I'm pretty sure that the woman said, are you going to have any more kids? And then he said, definitely, or something. And she said, potentially, or maybe. And it's like, hey, that is not a no. Do you know what I mean? And then it kind of all stemmed from that, and he was upset. And then we got a whole circle, all episode, got right to the very end. And he's like, so you're saying there's a maybe? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, mate, that's literally what she said at the start. However, you know, in these situations, I do believe that it should be the female that has the final. I mean, the female can't make the male have a kid. But what I mean is, if you collectively, or the father wants to have a child, the female will predominantly have the final say, because she might not want to put a body through it. Like I said, you know, like, look at her. She wants to be a weather girl. She don't want another 9 months being pregnant. She doesn't want another year off work looking after the baby. Like, she wants to kick back, enjoy the kid that she's got, and get her life kicking, rock and rolling. Do you know what I mean? And you got to respect it and understand it. She's not asking for anything too extreme there. Just give her a little period of time before she can get back on her feet and just enjoy herself again. So I totally get it, and it's good that they come to an understanding at the end. But thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.